A girl told me the other day
What?
that I should be on the show Love is Blind because my personality would be shown, but I feel like the
Yeah,
subtext was
that's
I
a
don't have the
diss.
looks to make it on my
I
own.
feel like you got the looks, bro. You were killing it last episode with that red jacket.
He's killing now with the
look at
Hawaiian shirt. I see you.
Fucking feeling it. Oh, do we got a vibe?
Ooh.
We got a palm tree vibe.
I don't have a vibe.
Hey!
trees on there.
Welcome to the Squaggles podcast. I'm AJ. And to my left, we have.
It's your boy, Hello.
And to my right, we have.
It's Devon.
And I don't think we did introductions last week.
We
No,
did.
definitely not.
We did it.
But they should know who we are.
They know.
You should.
If you don't know,
Now you know.
Bitches.
Bleep. I think we're going to play a game today. A new game. A new podcast game.
I want to play a
goody.
game.
It's called Change My Mind or Unpopular Opinion or something. Insert name here.
Insert name here.
And how
That's
does
the name of
That's
it.
a good name.
how does
Insert name.
the game work?
We each have one topic that we firmly believe in, and one of us will go and try to change that person's mind. Well, these two are stubborn, so I doubt they'll change their minds. But
That's not true.
but
I
I'm
am
open.
I am a very, very open.
I'm open.
Person.
I'm willing to, see where this debate takes us.
Unbiased opinions.
The rules we established were one person with an opinion, one person to change it.
No
the
purple
person to-
nurples.
The person to change the opinion has time for an opening argument. The person with the opinion has a rebuttal. And the person trying to change the opinion has a closing argument. And then we will determine if the person's mind is changed.
Did you change my mind?
Let us begin.
Probably not.
My unpopular opinion is, but the right opinion, Off the Wall, Michael Jackson's best album. Changed my mind.
Wrong. And let me tell you why. Because Thriller is Michael Jackson's greatest album. Let me tell you why. Billie Jean, I Want to Be With You. Pretty Young Thing. Beat It. Are some of Michael Jackson's greatest hits. His number ones of number ones. All on one album. So much that if you type in Michael Jackson's greatest hits, it's basically Thriller.
Okay. Now, I don't necessarily disagree that Thriller has some of his best songs. However, first of all, I say this all the time, but the introduction to Off the Wall has two of his best songs, if not Michael Jackson's two best songs, in coordination with each other. That's just to start off the album. Also, the whole album jams and is Michael Jackson when he first went solo, first, like, as hungry as possible. And to me, it's his best work because he is most hungry. And it just has those hits. It has jams. Now, Thriller definitely has, like, the regular, like, the just very, very passive Michael Jackson hits. They are great, don't get me wrong. However, Off the Wall, clearly his best.
I want to love you. Pretty young thing.
I wanna
need some
rock
loving.
with you.
To the love and get.
Oh,
And now
night.
take you there.
That doesn't compete with I
Bro.
Wanna Rock With You.
I give you, I want to rock with you, and gotta be starting something. Two hot songs. You know where you can find those? Michael Jackson's greatest hits, along with the entire Thriller album. Okay, I give you that. Those are two great songs, and if he would have put them on the Thriller album, it would have made it the greatest album of all. It's already the greatest, but it would have been the greatest album because it would have been from start to finish number ones. Your favorite,
Okay.
everybody's favorite hits.
Okay. I think you, as a Michael Jackson fan that you are, right? you've listened to his Thriller album. Everyone listened to Thriller. I don't think that
listened.
you gave Off the Wall its proper chance.
I listened Off the Wall. I liked it.
And I just think that most
Bad.
people, or I mean younger generation, hasn't really given the chance. You said Bad? Bad's on the Bad album.
I know. I've listened to all his albums.
Oh, Bad's
I
good
was
too.
telling you. Yeah, I was saying
But
Off the Wall, Bad.
Off the
Thriller.
Wall, beginning to end, jams. My mind is not changed.
All right. Well, I'm sorry I couldn't change your mind, but
You had some great points.
yeah. Well,
But I don't think that you gave it its due diligence and its good listen.
all right,
But thank
well,
you for that insight.
Maybe I did change the minds of a few people out there.
My name's AJ, and I believe my unpopular opinion is anime is not that great.
Wow. Okay. I will just say how I feel about anime. And I feel like most people, if you can watch cartoons, you can get the same thing out of anime. But anime comes in so many different varieties, just like any kind of cartoons. However, if you do give it its due diligence and you do watch it, there's an anime for you. There's an anime for everyone. There's a lot of deep philosophies in anime. There's some adult anime. There's funny anime. There's very, very cartoony anime. There's anime that hits sports. There's anime that hits like epic battles. If that's anything that you like, some great fight scenes. There's an anime for literally everyone.
I'm going to disagree with you on the fact of I believe anime is a very broad subject matter. It's a genre that sweeps many sweeps and bounds. And I think, however, animation, I love animation. I wouldn't argue with that. However, I think there is some beautiful animes, the Miyazakis, as you will. However, as a whole, as a genre, I cannot latch on. I feel like the pacing, the way we draw things out, where we have animes that go on 500 episodes, it's very hard to catch up. The same way I would say a soap opera. We drag things out to drag them out. There is no conclusion in mind. You can argue that American television does the same thing, but I would argue not as long.
Okay. Well, there are a lot of very extensive anime. Anime that goes on past 500, 1,000 episodes. One Piece has so many episodes. Case Closed has so many episodes. Naruto. However, there are a lot of animes too that confine their stories within 26 episodes, with 5 episodes, with 52 episodes, which I think 26 is like the sweet spot for myself and my preference, because I don't want to sit there and watch, or not that I don't want to, but a lot of times me getting older, I don't really find the time to watch 1,000 episodes of a single anime. But there's great anime that lasts within 26 episodes. That's not even a day's worth of watching television. Very, very deep philosophy, very adult, and has the action, has it all. Everything under one art form. There's different types of art with anime. If you can get behind the art, behind the story, behind whatever it may be that may draw you to cartoons, you can find the same thing within anime. I guarantee it.
I'm going to say you gave a pretty good argument. You made a lot of valid points. And I'm going to admit, I think my mind might have been changed.
Yeah, you should watch them.
I realized I might have been on the losing side of that argument in the first one where he's like, you can find something for everyone. And I was like, it's really hard to argue. And then my only argument was the length, and you beat me. You beat me. You changed my mind. I think that it's just about finding the right one.
Yeah, for sure.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Hopefully, I can give you a nice list of anime that you would enjoy. It was a pleasure.
Sure.
Yo, it's your boy Devon, and I'm here to argue why The Office is better than Parks and Rec. Try to change my mind.
I'm going to let you finish. But first, I want to tell you why Parks and Rec is better than The Office.
Did you just Kanye me?
The Office is an amazing show. There's no debating that. That's just facts.
Fact.
However, if you watch season 1 of The Office compared to the last season of The Office, there's a decline in quality. See, it goes downhill. Parks and Rec does not go downhill. Point number 1. Point number 2. Early on in The Office's history, they are normal people, and they slowly morph into more cartoony personalities. Kevin is not a moron early on in The Office. He becomes a moron because the writers have to keep on one-upping each other. Parks and Rec, they start at those heights. They are cartoon characters, and they stay there. It's consistent all the way through. The Office has ups and downs. You have characters who start in one place, and they become different characters. Not because of character growth, mind you, but because the writers didn't know what to do and just kept on one-upping each other. Parks and Rec didn't do that.
All right. Well, I will agree with you. The end of The Office was a little hard, to watch. It did get a little rough near the end. But Steve Carell is all I'm going to say. Steve Carell made me watch every episode of The Office. He's a comedic genius, all right? The way he can move around and manipulate his body and his energy, it's a masterpiece. Reminds me of the old comedy back in the day. And Parks and Rec is just lazy Office. They do the whole interview thing with no real premise to why we're doing interview. They work there, but we never talk about the camera crew. We never establish the camera crew. We're just doing that. We're just doing it. Seems a little lazy to me. And this right here. The Gym is all I'm going to say. I rest my case.
I will say, you made valid arguments.
I made some valid points.
But let me break it down to you in a way. Your point number 1, Steve Carell.
Steve Carell.
We all love Steve Carell. He was great. Michael Scott, one of the greatest television characters.
I'm one of Scott's kids.
However, he leaves.
Scott's top.
He leaves, leaving the show without, though, your number 1 point for multiple seasons.
That's when it
what
got
happens?
bad.
Oh, it got bad.
Yeah.
Can you say the same about Parks and Rec? Can you? Did it get bad?
But did
it ended on a high
Steve
note?
Carell good?
I would argue it did in some points. Callbacks to previous episodes, an extended city of side characters instead of limited to one space.
That's true.
The idea of a documentary is not a documentary in that show. I will give you that. I will concede that. However, that is not the only show in this period of time that did that. Modern Family did the same thing. It became the style of comedies. I do think it's lazy in the sense that we did not explain the documentary crew, but it is not the only offender.
Doesn't make it right.
And does it hinder your viewing experience going, man, why is this documentary crew there? I don't believe it does. I think you can get past it in one episode and move on and have an enjoyable seasons of content that never goes downhill.
I'll give you that.
And I rest my case, Your Honor.
Strong points. Amy Poehler and Nick Offerman.
Chris Pratt.
Aubrey Plaza.
Aziz Ansari.
Oh,
an all-star cast.
It is.
Can you say the same about The Office? They're great in their characters.
What?
But is it an all-star cast? Besides
Steve Carell, the Hangover guy. Jim, he's off doing movies now.
The fact that you don't even know their names.
I know Jim's. I can't remember it right now.
The fact that you don't even know their names.
Hey.
I think
that's true.
That says a lot.
But,
that's not all-star. That's just star. I'm
gonna go ahead and stop you there, man. I know I said earlier I keep an open mind, but when it comes to The Office, it's a little spot in my heart, and I don't think Parks and Rec knocked it out yet. I I don't think you changed my mind. But I
Okay.
appreciate
No.
you.
No.
It's a valiant effort.
No.
And this is why you don't be friends with anybody who enjoys Parks and Recs more than The Office. Because that's how they act. Like lazy writers. And that was the end of Squad Goals podcast. Peace.
Wasn't the end. Why would you finish it on your own?
I don't-
thought you were gonna do the wrap up.
I don't know what he was telling me to do.
I was saying wrap it up. I was saying.
Hold on, first of all,
Yeah.
I wanted to say...
Yeah.
Okay, we'll jump.
That's
in.
why I'm
Okay, we'll
confused.
jump
I'm
in.
like, why am I the only one here?
I
But
thought
he's
it
telling
would've
me
been-
to
I
wrap
thought-
up.
I thought it would have been funny if you
No,
just
no, no,
ended
no.
it.
I
But-
actually want to talk about it, but we'll say
Okay.
after the podcast. We'll say
No, we'll talk right now.
all right.
We'll talk. We're still recording. And we're back.
Hey, what's
I
up?
guess it wasn't the end.
It wasn't the end.
Fooled you.
Got him.
Got him.
Just when you thought we were done, you pulled us right back in. Fun game, guys.
Yeah, it was
a
fun.
good time.
I overheard some things that I was just shaking my head for.
Let's hear 'em.
Parks and Rec all day. And it's funny because
Wow.
you was so quick to name the characters on Parks and Rec, but you couldn't even get from your favorite show.
That's because I enjoy Aziz Ansari's comedy. I've seen Amy Poehler in different things. And Nick Offerman, I think, is an American treasure.
Yeah.
And
But
they're all in one show.
Yeah,
My-
but doesn't mean the show is good just because you throw a bunch of people in it.
my biggest gripe with what you said was that you use the documentary crew style as something that's lazy and the reasoning why you didn't really care for Parks and Rec. But The Office does it the exact same way.
No, I
They did it
got
first.
his argument.
I
was-
get what you're saying. They're copying that.
No, they
However-
at least they said we're being filmed for a crew. They even in the seasons put the crew members in there. And Parks and
Yeah.
Rec,
The final season.
the
of The
first
Office
episode,
is-
Amy Poehler's doing an interview, and you're like, why is she? And they're in their house, their homes.
But you were talking
doing
about the style, and I'm
Well,
like,
well,
the
I
style
see
is-
what he meant by in the sense that in the office, I got that argument, and that was actually the toughest thing to argue was in the office. It is a documentary crew that is filming them. The last season is a plot point that the sound guy has been in love with Pam for years because he's
Yeah.
been right over her the whole time.
Yeah.
But in the Parks and Rec, they never explain it. However, my argument was, we're past the, yeah, I get that's a little lazy to just do that style because you can add jokes in where they're talking
Yeah,
to the
that's
camera
that's really what they do. Just
and
to
you don't
add the
need
joke.
it. However, a lot of shows did it. A lot of shows copied The Office.
Yeah.
And a lot of the people
Which-
that made The Office made Parks and Rec.
Yeah, but you can't say that as an argument. But then, you have to understand that the show that you're talking about is doing the exact same.
But they explained it,
He
and they
meant that there's no
even put
explanation.
it into it.
Like,
The
why are
Parks and
these
Rec-
guys talking to the camera?
Yeah, Parks and Rec just did it because they saw it worked, and it's like that's how you can put a joke in. Which The Office you saw that same format, but they at least were like, let's put it in the show.
There's a
Yeah, let's make it a reason instead of just let's just do it, and people won't care after episode 1. If the show's good enough, nobody's gonna ask.
I got you. I love both shows. My biggest thing is people are very, very they neglect Park and Rec because they say it's just a copy. But once you get past that and you actually watch the show, you realize how funny it is and the humor in it, and that is just as good, if not better than The Office.
Ooh.
No, still didn't change my mind.
That was like a little bonus round for you viewers at home. That was like a little extra life of trying to change minds.
It's funnier.
I think there are more funnier moments in
Yeah.
Parks and Rec. However, I do love The Office. I started saying I love both shows.
You can't knock the charm of The Office, for sure.
It's that charm.
Yeah.
And I will agree that I think even though it did go downhill, that final season of The Office, they kind of started bringing it back. And I think the final episode of The Office is one of their greatest. If I had to write a list of the top 10 episodes of The Office, maybe top 20, it's somewhere on that list, the finale. I think it was emotional, it was poignant.
Speaking of charm, if you want to see some more of Charm or that Charm, or
Head on
similar
over.
Charm,
Head on over to Pornhub.com and look up the Squad Goals podcast. You could also go on YouTube. If you want that charm and Pornhub go hand in hand. You could also listen to the podcast
With your
on
free hand.
You could also listen to this podcast on Spotify, Google Play, Stitcher,
Yep.
iTunes,
Yep.
like iHeartRadio,
Yep.
and like FM.FM or whatever.
One of those
Last
things.
FM. I
You
don't-
sound
Something like
you
that.
don't even sound sure anymore. Just naming any kind of channel.
Oh, and that's been our episode. We'll see you on Tuesday.
Peace out, y'all. Peace. Bye.